What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel as always. I'm Rich. Thanks for checking my ass out. No, appreciate it. We're gonna go off on a little different direction. I thought we'd do like a little fun video, switch some stuff up here. We're gonna talk about a time in music, if you will. This pretty much going back into like the 90s, I guess late 90s into the 2000s. Where there was a certain genre of music that was coming in and kind of like reigning supreme, and that was a little bit of some nu metal, as well as some other things. But this is pretty much what we're going to be tackling: some nu metal, as long with some other stuff. And the reason why I'm talking about this is, I was thinking about back when Ozzfest was a big thing. I don't know about you guys, but I remember the very first Ozzfest kicked off. I can't remember the date even now. I must pause, it was like 99 or something like that, somewhere around in there. Might have been earlier than that, I believe, but I'm not sure. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, 99. And when it first came around, me and a bunch of my friends, went to go check it out. And it actually became kind of like, a tradition for us, where every year we get together and go to Ozzfest. And during that time period, there was just that big thing that was happening, where it was a little thing called the nu metal movement that was taking place. And I know for a certain amount of people, nu metal kind of gets shunned on. I never had a problem with nu metal. I think it's a necessity, just like any other subgenre of metal. Again, I get it, like anything else, you can love it, you can hate it, but I think it was an important necessity. And I think looking back on it now, as I'm getting older and seeing all these bands, and when they first was coming out on the scene, whether you think they were crap, or you think the whole genre was crap, or whatever have you, I think still they were fun to see first hit the scene, checking them out for the first time. Again, some of these bands, I've seen before, but good chunk of these bands, this is the first time I actually got to experience them. So we're going to go through some bands that was either, in the nu metal scene, or also, like I said, it's kind of like a weird, like, little two-part thing, where it's going to be like, nu metal / bands that might have been at or seen at Ozzfests throughout the years, if you will. I know there's going to be some bands I don't have in here, which I didn't feel like digging through some CDs and stuff like that, which I know I had. I got some CDs here too. I got CDs and vinyl, but there's just so many that just kept popping my mind, and it was getting overwhelming, because I have a good bit here. This might run a little bit long. I'm going to try to keep it maybe at least close to I guess a half an hour-ish, if you will. But let's kick off with some stuff that's either, again, following in that nu metal, or within that, like that fun old good Ozzfest times, whenever this stuff to me was most prevalent. And we're going to grab a little stack of CDs here, why not? Got a little stack here. I'm going to kick off one band that might be a little, again, controversial. Some people I know didn't like this band. Whenever this band first came out of Ozzfest, I'll be honest, I dug these dudes. I thought this band was fun. Cold Chamber. Again, I know not everybody likes Cold Chamber. I know they're right now actually torn with Mudvayne. My son, who's 13, actually, he's a Mudvayne fan. He wanted to go to this concert. I told him I'd take him to something else, Core, which I will get into in the video. I gotta take him to something else that I'm gonna take him to. I think he's gonna enjoy it a little bit better than this. But this is Cold Chamber's debut. Yeah, it's self-titled. They had the big hits off of this. Oh, there we go, Roadrunner Records. That was the big thing at the time, Roadrunner Records. Loco, of course, Bradley, Big Truck, Sway. This was just, I remember being a fun album for a fun time whenever these guys broke. I remember back then too, Ozzfest was giving like compilations. I have one too, again, floating around, where this Cold Chamber is on. I think it was, I want to say Big Truck. No, Loco, I think it was either Loco or Big Truck, one of the ones that was on that album, with some of the other bands that was there at the time. But yeah, this is always one of those bands that I look fondly back on at the old, if you will, nu metal Ozzfest time. An honorable mention that just popped in my head that I don't have in here, but I know for a fact it was an Ozzfest nu metal band, Kitty. Fun little band, band with all female players in it. Heavy. One of those bands, again, just popped in my mind that I've ever seen at Ozzfest for the first time when they first came around. Another one. I don't remember what year these guys were at Ozzfest, but I know I saw these guys at Ozzfest. And I dug their sound. This is on Loco. This is their first album. Again, what is this? Healing? Yeah, Healing. I know they came out with another album out this. I have it too on CD. It's okay. It's still kind of the same vein as this, but to me it's not as good as their first album. This is just some good, if you will, the veins of, like, you know, nu metal. Has some good aggressive vocals and all that stuff on it. Guitar work, crunchy and all that stuff. I thought this, again, was just a good album by this band. If you never checked out on Loco, I don't think they might have got too big. Worth checking out. I'm trying to see when this album was released, if I can see it on here. I'm not seeing it on the back here at the moment, but or even the Maverick. Okay, this came out on Maverick, but I'm not seeing a release date. But anyways, sorry guys. On Loco, if you never checked these guys out, check out this first album. Again, that time, that genre, that era, I think this was a good album. I remember a lot of my, I'm having focus problems here in this video. A lot of my friends wanted to borrow this, liking this, checking this out when this first came out. Another band staying in the CD realm. Again, I can't remember if this was an Ozzfest band or not, or if this is, you know, just for the time. This is, I think, their second or first album. This is Cold. 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. This is the album I like the best from these guys. Again, I know they had like another album that came out. I think it was Red, had like the spider on or something, but I thought this album was okay. Just Got Wicked, I think, was their biggest hit off of this. End of the World was another good one. It's All Good, Sending the Clowns. I thought these were all some decent tracks that was on this album by these guys. So again, I mean, Cold was on these bands. Again, wasn't for everybody. They was kind of in that more mellow, depressing sound of like rock, alternative rock, maybe more like nu metal. But I thought this was an alright album. So again, never check these guys out. Sounds like something might be up your alley. Give them a listen. 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage. Cold. Here goes another one. Talk about a blast from the past. And while I've seen this one, goddamn it, I forgot to pull off a band that was, to me anyways, always seemed like hand in hand with this band. I don't know why, but there's probably no rhyme or reason that, but it's just, you know, to me. But this is Taproot, Gift. Again, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these guys were at Ozzfest, most positive. And I thought, you know, again, for at the time, you know, they were a good little band. They were at least a radio around here with was it Smile? Might have been Smile. Again, I can't remember. It was In Case of Fire, Break the Glass, and I can't remember how I even named that song is at the moment. I haven't listened to this in a while. But yeah, this was another album that came out on Atlantic Records. I'm trying to see if I can find a year on this one. Look on 2000. There we go, boom. So again, Taproot, Gift. Yeah, another one of those bands, songs that's put on the radio non-stop. And again, like I said, pivoting off of this, Spine Shank. To me, there was another one for some reason with Taproot. They always just seemed like synonymous together. I don't know why, but they just did. Next one, I love this album. I'll never apologize for this album. I'm actually gonna get this on vinyl. I don't give a shit. This is Static X, Wisconsin Death Trip. I love this album. Again, I will not apologize for this album whatsoever. I'm not as big as any other albums after this. R.I.P. Wayne Static, but to me, this album is goddamn awesome. I love the sound on this. I love the crunch of the guitars on this. I love the metallic feel that the guitars have on this album. This is just a good ass album. Again, Push It was the big hit. I'm With Stupid Again was another big hit. Bled for Days, Love Dump, Stem, Sweat of the Butt, the Fix, Wisconsin Death Trip. This is Trance in Motion. There's just so much good stuff on this album. So again, Static X, man. I love this album, Wisconsin Death Trip. Again, I'll never apologize for that one. Now this next one. I'm sorry, I know this is one of these bands. At the time, they were huge. I don't care what anybody says. Whenever this band hit the scene, this band was goddamn huge. Whether you liked it or not, whether you said they was whatever clone, trying to be like another Metallica clone or what have you, they just was. They was a big goddamn thing at the time. Godsmack. Okay, I remember seeing these guys. Again, at Ozzfest for the first time, and I'm gonna be honest, I dug the shit out of these dudes. I did. I thought this was a good album. Again, it's some crazy ass metal album, no, but I liked it for what it was. Just a good hard rock album. I thought this was good. And was the guitar anything special, especially going crazy with that wah pedal and all that shit? No, but I'll always give Sully props. How this album kicked off, Moon Baby, loved it, whatever, okay. Big hit, Keep Away, again, another big hit. Time Bomb, Bad Religion, again, another big hit. Let's see, Get Up, Get Out. I mean, there's just Voodoo, there's just so much on here that was on the radio. It's crazy, in fact. 1998 Universal Records, but yeah, this is just, for me, Godsmack kind of started making, you know, the same album over and over and over and over and over again, but this, at the time, was just huge. It just was. I mean, everybody had this. You saw it everywhere. It's just one of those goddamn things. And one thing I'll give this band credit for again, Sully. Say what you want about his vocals, whatever, not me for you, whatever, but dude is a hell of a musician. You see this band live. I've seen this band a couple times live, actually, and every time I've seen them, it was a good-ass live band, dude. From, you know, Sully playing the kit, doing the vocals, guitar, like this dude is a good instrumentalist. This band was good live. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from them as far as that goes as well. I mean, they were huge for their time. It was a good live act. It just, you know, for the period, Godsmack rolled. I mean, they just did. Whether we liked it or not, Godsmack rolled for that period. Alright, that's it for the CDs. Let's keep on going. Here goes another band. I am not a fan of this band, to be totally honest. Why have the vinyl? I got this because my son. Actually, I'm not like a big hater of this band. Actually, I mean, I like a couple of their songs, but I'm not like a big, huge fan of this band. This album, coupled with some other albums I'm going to show, I got from my son. My son is a kind of into like nu metal right now, and that metalcore. I'm trying to get like his collection up and stuff like that, so I'm helping him out with that. So this is Korn. This isn't their first, or even like Life is Peachy or Fall Leader. These are just issues. This is at least some of the stuff from Korn that I can later air that I can stomach. You know, Falling Away From Me and shit like that. But again, I'm not the biggest Korn fan, but you know, you gotta respect what they did and the time and everything else, and I'll never hate on anybody that's huge Korn fans or anything. You know, each their own. You know what I mean? I like shit that people probably can't stand or, you know, whatever have you, but again, not the biggest Korn fan me personally, but I do appreciate and respect what this band did. I mean, they're huge. They still kind of are huge. I'm sure they're still selling out wherever they go, whatever have you. So hey, kudos to them. But you know, gotta pay homage to a band that during that time was, you know, killing it. Well, let's keep cruising on. A band here. This is like a silly band, but this is an Ozzfest band. I remember seeing these at Ozzfest one time. That's why I'm pulling it, because it just was, you know, a great show. They killed it. Slayer. It's actually a picture of this. This is Self of Heaven. Great stuff. Again, I'm not going to get into Slayer. We all know Slayer, but I remember seeing them at Ozzfest the one year, and they goddamn rolled. I can't remember what year it was again. But they came through. I know certain bands switched certain times for different tours, but they was there the one year, and it's Slayer, and they were awesome. So showing that, there we go. Let's keep cruising. Again, some of these Pantera. Again, just grabbed this album from them. Great Southern Trendkill. But I remember the one year they was at Ozzfest. It was awesome. I remember every time I went to Ozzfest, we always got in the lawn, because there was always a big group of us. We'd go out, we'd tailgate, party, get all, you know, messed up, tuned up, partied up, and then I'd go in. And I remember before Pantera was about to come on, everybody pretty much in unison was like, hey, let's stand up, let's get ready. Pantera's coming out. The Pantera came out. I believe it was Cowboys from Hell. I believe it opened up with. If I'm almost positive that's what it was, but just looked around. There was just mosh pit, over there mosh pit, and then big ass bonfire start getting started, and then good old times. It was just great stuff. Again, I know, like every other band, Pantera might get looked down upon and everything else, but for the time, for that period, my personal favorite vulgar display of power. But Pantera, you know, they were what they were, man. It was a good ass fucking band, and rest in peace to Vinnie Paul and his brother and everything. It's just a shame, but Good stuff for its time. I'm glad I got to saw the band in its entirety. So that was awesome. Another band I saw at Ozzfest for the very first time. Early on, blew me away. Toll. Saw Toll the very first time at Ozzfest, and their Maynard coming out in drag. More or less, he had like some pantyhose with the whole like snippets on, and a bra with a wig on, and makeup the whole goddamn time. But they killed it. Pretty much they played their first album, and Neva Hair, but it was just good stuff. Some good hits off this album especially. But yeah, I remember seeing Toll for the first time there. Blown away. They were such a good live band, which I appreciated. Sometimes you go see bands and live they suck. But Toll was again giving credit to what credit's due. Godsmack, good live bands, man. So it's always a good thing. Next band that I remember seeing, first at Ozzfest. Again, this is another band. Like this whole time in music, it's very controversial. Some people either like these bands or they can't stand these goddamn bands. System of a Down's first album. There we go. And seeing these guys at first, of course, Chop Suey. My favorite album of theirs is always going to be their second album off of this. Was it Hollywood or what the hell was it? I can't remember. God damn it. Can't remember. I should have pulled it too. But yeah, System of a Down. I mean, I used to despise this band, honestly. Not that I like some of the tracks, but I'd hear like snippets of some of their other stuff. Like I might have been off like Steal This album or something with the whole pizza song, pizza bye. So I'm like, dude, what the hell is this ridiculous nonsense? Like, is this supposed to be like some type of funny band or whatever have you? Because I never really actually like sat down and was trying to like listen to like the whole album. But finally, I start hearing more and more from them. I start getting into them more, and Toxicity. God damn it! Finally, it was spinning in the back of my mind. That was my favorite album from this band. Sorry, I said Hollywood. I'm thinking of the album cover. But yeah, still a good band, man. Finally came around on these guys. Dig, what they're trying to, their message and everything. If you will, kind of heavier, around like a Rage Against the Machine or something like that. But good stuff. All right, let's keep cruising. Keep cruising. Here goes one. Again, here goes another one. Actually, I got two from this band. I'm seeing these guys first time getting to Ozzfest. I think they came the first year, or may have been the second year, but I believe it was the first year. They was even on the small stage then. It was like a no-name band. I was always big, me personally. Everybody was rushing to go to the main stages. I was always rushing to go like the smaller stages because no one's ever going to those stages. Now when you got to get like up front and see some of these like newer bands that was coming out, and again at the time they could have came on to be like Hugh Jackson. Here goes one of those bands. Case in point, Slipknot. I remember being right on the front stage first. They first came out promoting this album. And I was like, wow, this was some killer ass shit. And when you first see something like this, I get maybe like, you hear something like this down the road, you don't, see it whenever it's first in your face, like at you. Then I can see like maybe the whole this sucks aspect of this. It's a whole bunch of like noise coming at you at one time. It's too chaotic, or you can't hear the instrumentation as well, production wise. Whatever. I get that. I get that. But if you see this for the first time live, and again, these guys ain't around, not really like a well-known band or anything like that. This is actually was actually pretty awesome. So that was cool to get to experience these guys for the first time on stage, and I was kind of blown away with the whole stage show and how rough and gritty and everything they sounded. They were good, man, for their time. I'll give Slipknot their credit. Again, for me, their best album is always going to be this one, Iowa. But this is their heaviest, yeah. But I'm not going to take anything away from Slipknot, man, because like I said, I remember seeing them whenever they first hit. It was a big deal. I enjoyed the shit out of them, and it's always have like a spot for me with that. Again, same thing with this next band we're going to get into. I think this is their best album. They're actually right now touring. I believe just with off this album again with Cool Chamber, and that's Mudvayne LD50. Again, this is seeing these guys when they first hit the scene. I remember they were getting compared to almost again another Slipknot clone or something like that. But actually, for me, this album, I'll take over just any Slipknot album. That's just for me. Because one thing I like about Mudvayne with this particular album, I like their lyrical content. I actually think Chad Gray does a really good job on a lot of these songs with the lyrics. I mean, just does that, but it always goes back to Dig, and you hear something like Death Blooms and stuff like that, and there's just good stuff on it, like Cradle and stuff like that. I mean, these are just good written songs with good backbone song structures. I think, you're some typical, I'm just pissed off about something. It's like, no, these are actually like, thought out, well written lyrics. And I like that about these guys on this album. Again, after this, to me, they had, a couple other decent albums, but to me, that's it for me. As far as like really, really loving Mudvayne. Seen that band actually a couple other times after that live. And there was another band. They were early on. They were good, man. Just a great goddamn rhythm section as far as drums and bass goes. Phenomenal. I wasn't always the biggest fan of the guitar in that band, but drums and bass, yes. Alright, let's go into another band. This band can be controversial. At least for me it is, because I know this band I saw this band quite a few times. I'm trying to remember if this was an Ozzfest band or not. Just off the top of my head, I am not really 100% positive. Let's just say for the sake of argument, they was at one of the Ozzfests. They probably was. I'm gonna assume they was. But this band got lumped in with nu metal. Now I'll say this: the two albums I pulled, I got everything from these guys. I'm a big fan of this band. It's another band I won't ever apologize for loving. Deftones. This is their first album, Adrenaline, and then their follow-up, Around the Fur. Now, for me, if you want to throw these two albums into nu metal territory, okay, I'll do that. I'll play, I'll dance, I'll shimmy with you guys, I'll twist, I'll shake. But once we start heading into White Pony territory, that is where I am going to hit the pause button and say, okay, this band, I will no longer let you classify as a nu metal band. Their sound just, to me, completely changes. You can either say for good or bad. I know some people like the real, that earlier, heavier Deftones. I like it all. Like I said, I like what this band progressed as. I like, their heavier, earlier stuff. I like, even they progressed to even feature, some of their still heavier stuff in their later catalog and stuff like that. But I'm just always a big fan of Deftones. So, let's move on. Having said that, what have we got left? We've got two more. This wasn't that bad. I got two weird ones here. If you think it's saved to the end for nothing special, it just happened to be what it was. Let's go on to another one. This is Killswitch Engage. This is their first album. I actually can't remember if this band was at Ozzfest or not. Again, I think they might have been. There were so many bands that was there throughout the years. That's why I grabbed it. I'm not 100% sure. But this is one of these metalcore bands. This is actually a big band that my son loves. This is my favorite album from this band. I'm a big fan of the Jesse Leach vocals. I know Ron Howard did vocals for a while, and the Heartache, and might have been the album after that, I believe, too, as well. Before that, I'm not sure, but he was a great vocalist too for the band. Nothing against that man at all. He killed it. I always liked the original vocalist. And the way this album just kicked off with Temple from Within. I remember even they put this track on, like, it might have been like another album or two as well, just because this goddamn track is just rips. But yeah, this is, to me, would always be the best Killswitch Engage album. Again, I just like the guitar and everything with these guys on this album. Thought it's just a nice, good, metalcore album. So, yeah, nothing too spectacular there, but alright, let's go on to the last one. Again, this is a band. Again, I'm repeating this a lot, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in fact, you know what? I'm going to say yes. Yes, I did. I seen these goddamn guys at Ozzfest. Again, this is a radio band, but I like these guys. I'm not going to lie, even have their newest album. I like it a lot. This is just one of these bands, again, for that era. I seen, always just stuck around. Even there was a radio band, if you will, especially around here. This is Chevelle. Wonder what's next. I like Chevelle, like the brother combo. Again, is their sound anything like real crazy or anything? Even though they have like a nice little like heaviness to their sound and stuff. Yes, they have like good lyrical content to a lot of songs, themes, and stuff like that. Yes, I like this band. I mean, Comfortable Liar, Send the Pain Below, The Red. I mean, it's Forfeit. There's just a lot of good stuff on this. So if you haven't, again, ran back and listened to any of these older albums, you know, from that time, I'm telling you, you'll throw some of this stuff on, even it, and just, you know, that's what I liked about that period, because I just go back and I listen to some of this stuff, and it's just like, man, these, again, I get why a lot of this stuff can get passed over in like the metal community and stuff like that, but to me, this era, time again, just held a fun little special place. Again, there's a lot of other bands I missed, like Rob Zombie, for instance. I know he was at Ozzfest, and oh my god, I'm missing so many. I think Disturbed, and you know, I can keep going on and on. Of course, Ozzy and Black Sabbath, but you know that's too obvious. But yeah, it was. I just remember, you know, that period, that little nook of time in metal and music and all that stuff. It sometimes gets overlooked and gets hated on, but I think as I'm getting older and I'm looking back at it, I'm actually, you know, appreciate it a little more. It's why I've been, you know, slowly grabbing some of that stuff around whenever I see it, and just to throw it on and just have that good old reminder of them good old times in the 90s, 2000s, if you will, with that nu metal and the whole Ozzfest experience that, you know, some of us, I'm sure, I'm not the only one that went on for all those years. And again, I wasn't true in staying with it all the way to the end. I only probably went for like the first, I think it was like 5, and after that, you know, the lineup started getting a little too ridiculous. But again, there's so many other bands I missed. Like, I know Incubus was there, and actually, I liked that band there. That's when I first saw that band. They just got like a sore thumb because they weren't metal at all. And it's just, again, Sepultura was there with Roots, and it was just so much. But I'm gonna keep dragging the song because we're already getting like almost a half an hour. So that's gonna do it, guys. Again, I just want to come on, have a little fun, which is reminisce, talk about that little time period as far as like the nu metal, you know, metalcore and Ozzfest and like all of that stuff goes. But that's gonna do it. So again, thanks guys for checking me out. You know, I appreciate it. You know, I love you, and mother, and stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Rock on.